Welcome, my friends, to this very special Wednesday Night Fever presentation, the only show on television that will bring together all the major candidates at this coming election. The rules of our debate are simple. Each candidate has respectfully agreed to listen to the others while totally ignoring everything they say. So, joining me tonight, the Prime Minister, Kevin Rudd.
How's it hanging, my homies?
The Leader of the Opposition, Tony Abbott.
I've got 3 daughters. Kevin's only got 1.
Wildcard independent candidate Justice Waters.
Actually, Sammy, it's Justine, OK? I changed it back to highlight the fact that there is no justice for urban women who identify as rural.
Sorry, no justice for them because...
You obviously find the word menstruation confronting.
And finally, the Leader of the Greens, not Bob Brown.
Oh, that's not fair, Sammy J. I'm more than not Bob Brown. I have a name.
Which is?
I want to say Christine Miller?
Christine Milne.
Milne, that's it. I knew it started with an M.
Okie dokie. Kevin Rudd, first question to you. Many voters feel there's no real difference between yourself and Tony Abbott. Are they right?
The major difference, Sammy J, is that I'm clearly the underdog. I've basically got no chance of becoming Prime Minister.
You are the Prime Minister.
Correction, I'm the underdog Prime Minister. People like underdogs, so that's what I am. Go on, scratch my belly. I'll lick your face.
Sammy, I'm obviously the underdog. The lowest approval rating in opposition history. Young people can't stand me, and 98% of Liberals think a rich prick with a plummy voice and a stick up his arse would be an improvement.
The ALP is corrupt and incompetent, and I'm a power-crazed megalomaniac. How can I not be the underdog?
I hate women and poor people.
I hate everyone except me.
Well, Clive has something to talk.
Leader of the Palmer United Party, Clive Palmer.
It's not a matter who the doggy door is, Sunny Day. What about the Kevins and the Tony Dracoulian policies about a cyborg seekers? It brings a tear to my pie.
Clive makes a good point. I think about both people. Kevin, your Papua New Guinea solution has come under fire. One reason being that PNG can only take so many asylum seekers.
Not true. There is absolutely no limit to the number they can take. What people don't realise is that PNG still has cannibal tribes.
So are you suggesting we feed desperate refugees to other people?
2 birds, 1 stone, Sammy J. We're handling the boats and addressing third world hunger.
Christine Milne, let's bring you in. Christine Milne? Christine Milne.
Oh, sorry, that's me.
Bless. Right, let's bring in our next speaker. From the Ecuadorian Embassy in London, Senate candidate Julian Assange, and with him, Ambassador/landlord Fernando Estefania.
Good evening, Sammy J.
Hola, Sammy.
Julian Assange, do you support the major parties' border protection policies?
I believe asylum seekers should be welcomed with open arms, especially if it's someone in real need, say, trapped in a foreign land because of some minor treason accusations, and this poor bloke was blonde and sexy and the subject of movies and documentaries. Well, I think Australia should let him right in.
Sammy, I second this 100%. If there's any chance the Australian government could show some mercy and take Julian here off our hands once and for all, that would be bueno.
So, Julian, just to be clear, that's the only asylum seeker situation you care about?
Well, if there's any hot Swedish girls fleeing persecution, I'd let them in too. And if they needed to be processed, they could totally stay with the blonde guy.
Justine Waters, do you see border protection as the greatest challenge facing Australia? A silent protest. Nice. Let's talk education.
Clive's out.
Tony Abbott, you've recently done a major backflip and decided to honour the Gonski funding arrangements.
Look, the people want certainty, so we've reluctantly agreed to match Kevin Rudd's school funding deals.
Oh, point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Former Prime Minister Julia Gillard. What a lovely prize. Thank you so much for stopping by.
That's all right, Sammy J. Did I just hear Mr Abbott referring to them as Mr Rudd's school funding deals? As usual, Kevin, the glory hoover, is trying to suck up all the credit for my policy.
It's a bit harsh. Kevin, your response?
Sammy J, I'm the first to admit that Julia came up with the name Gonski. And like most of her ideas, everybody hated it. So, after I was swept back into office by an overwhelming majority of my parliamentary colleagues, I immediately ditched Gonski and gave the reforms a name everyone could connect with.
Which is?
Rudsky.
If I could just get a word in here...
Of course you can. Kevin, you did a backflip too on same-sex marriage, from memory. Tell us about your change of heart.
Sammy J, as a Christian, I've always felt that while Jesus preached love and tolerance, he specifically wanted gays and lesbians excluded from that. But then I had an epiphany, which is ironic because epiphany is about one of the gayest words there is. And now I'm totes gay for gay marriage. Proof of this is the fact that I recently gave the office of Prime Minister a much-needed sex change.
Oh, I did the sex change first, Kevin. You just brought back the dick.
Sammy J, the Coalition's policy on this is simply don't ask, don't tell. I don't ask what my MPs really think in the desperate hope they won't tell me. Number one priority to us is to stop the boats. Also, the repeal of any sort of a carbon tax or ETS. Our direct action plan...
Kevin, if you could just restrain yourself.
I didn't say anything, dude.
Sorry, Sammy J, that was me.
Good evening, Malcolm Turnbull.
Hello, Australia. You're looking scrumptious this evening.
Sorry, Malcolm, are you at the Reserve Bank?
No, at home in the den.
Malcolm, you're renowned for being an environmentalist. What's your plan to stop global warming?
Well, the trick is finding an alternative to coal. And I believe I have the answer. It's called clean cash. We feed low-polluting currency into special furnaces and burn the notes to generate energy.
You're saying we burn money? Isn't that expensive?
It really depends on the weather. In the middle of winter, Lucy and I probably burn about 350k a night. But on a mild autumn evening, you can probably get away with a lazy 80 grand.
Sammy, only the Greens have a proper plan. We will stop global warming and reduce the mining of Australia while still increasing revenue from mining and creating thousands of jobs in mining.
Sorry, Christine, how does that work?
Computers and stuff.
Clive Palmer, what are your thoughts?
Personal, I'm a fan of global warming's Jimmy Choo. Clive's dinosaurs were extinction by cold ice freezings, so the hot the better for money in Palmer pocket pants.
Julian Assange, we haven't heard from you in a while.
I'll leak you a secret, Sammy J. I'm really sick of Ecuadorian food. If I have to eat one more guinea pig, I'm going to lose it.
You ate in your fluffy pants? You are the devil!
Let's take another question from the audience, perhaps. Any ordinary voter?
Yes, thank you, Sammy J. Kevin, Tony, you're both facing the most important election of your lives. For one of you, defeat will mean the end of a long career. You'll leave public life a failure, being remembered for presiding over the most abusive, hateful era in Australian politics.
Sorry, Julia, what's your question?
Oh, there's no question. I just wanted to say goodbye. Cheers, big ears, you two, frog-face.
OK, yeah. She didn't hold back. Now, in the interest of balance, we'll take a question from the Murdoch press now.
Rhonda Bryant, News Limited, Sammy. I'd like to ask Mr Rudd about the economy.
Fully sick.
Mr Rudd, why do you hate Australia so much? Is it because you're lazy, stupid, or just in league with all known foreign terrorists?
I think you'll find, according
More
to...
double talk and spin! Wrecking the joint for ordinary, hard-working families. Tony, how was that?
Tell Rupert the cheque's in the mail.
OK, thank you, Rhonda. We're almost out of time, so let's go to the question we really want answered. Why should people vote for you? Justine Waters.
I think it's important for women to be able to menstruate.
Good point, well made. Clive Palmer, your vision for Australia?
Less taxation, more treats for mining magnates. I'm breeding a real-life Oompa Loompa. Oompa Loompa, Clive-a-dee-doo.
Christine Milne, what do the Greens have to offer?
Well, I'd like to say a few words about the Leadbeater's possum.
Fascinating, Kevin Rudd.
Sammy J, even though I've only been in the job 7 weeks, #loving life, I think it's fair to say that the young people of Australia need someone to look up to. #role model, aka me, @KRUDPM, #your humble servant.
#shut up! Tony Abbott, why should you be our next Prime Minister?
One reason, Sammy J. I am the leader of a unified and loyal team.
Malcolm Turnbull, anything to add to that?
I completely agree with Tony. He's the leader of a unified and loyal team. For now.
So, Australia, the hard part is now up to you. Do you vote for sexism or xenophobia? Economic mismanagement or environmental devastation? Short-term greed or long-term greed? So many wonderful choices. Thanks for joining us, all 7 of you. Smarmy, silly, creepy, wealthy, greeny, leaky, and loony. Please thank them all.